What's up guys, Kevin Slowmunch here and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we are reacting to Fine Right Here by Rainimator. Okay, so this is another continuation of season 4. I'm gonna be completely honest before I get into reacting to this. I am not too looking forward to this episode. Mainly because, and I'll probably talk about this as the video goes along, but mainly because the Illager stuff has just been completely ruined on the Discord by certain production team members. I won't sugarcoat that, I won't pretend like it's not happening, I won't, I'm not gonna act like it's all fine and dandy and it's acceptable to, just with that kind of behaviour, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way. I will react to things, how I usually do, with my, completely neutral and fair views on, the story. And let's just get into it.
With the loss of their king, the Illagers are in turmoil, fighting for control over the town. Rumors also claim that a threat is looming within the undead forest.
What? Meggie Elise as Abigail. You've got another voice actor for Abigail. Can you keep consistent with? Okay, whatever.
Whatever's happening now is an opportunity to step in. Help me seize control of their leadership, and I'll make sure all the Illagers will fight for our cause.
You're insane to ask us to interfere with overworld affairs, specifically one involved with a criminal syndicate. Your recent actions already made you hard to trust. And now you want our help to gain even more power and control?
Okay, hold on. This is already conflicting with the previous episode. Hold on. So you're telling me I've already spoken in my last reaction video about how inconsistently bad, just overall terrible, the Unburnt Rebellion dialogue episode was. There were so many inconsistencies. It was completely poorly managed. It was poorly written. But at the end of the whole thing, Kane revealed their plan to them, and then everybody was all fine and dandy with them. It was like, yeah, we're fine. I guess that seems reasonable. We'll listen to you. Blah 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 blah. And now you're backtracking again. This is a very common theme with the new writers in this series, is something will have already been established, count the first 3 seasons for example, and then season 4 is literally just a whole season of them backtracking on everything that has been previously established. Learn how to fucking write consistently! It's not rocket science!
I'll remind you that everything I've done gave everyone a fighting chance against the Empire. Where else do you plan on getting new allies?
I'll try my luck with the Frostborn.
And how exactly do you plan on doing that? You just walk to their heavily fortified castle and go, "Hey, I know I fought for the Nether and I helped slaughter some of your people, but I'm a changed Netherkin now, I promise. Also, can I borrow some of your already stretched out forces to help fight my own battles?"
Okay.
Jesus Christ, you can tell. What the fuck am I even looking at here? Why is there a paper cut Abigail? I don't understand! What is even happening? With all due respect, you're trying to make it out to be very logical to interfere with a criminal group, essentially Minecraft's version of the Mafia, and call that more logical and make more sense than going out and seeking allies with someone who we already know is part of the whole, well, 1 series, 2 war effort. Especially when you've just had a whole scene in the last dialogue episode with all the Frostborn, generals saying, we need to find allies, we need to find more help in this war. And instead of focusing on those existing characters and bringing this final season to an end, which apparently is supposed to wrap up by the end of this season, yet you're not finding a way to build those two. I think you're not finding a way to build those two allying kingdoms together. When you've specifically mentioned, you had a whole scene of a group of generals around one table in this room saying, "We need to find new allies. Let's debate all these allies." And then you showed like a shit ton of characters. Which, by the way, I counted throughout that whole video of the Unburnt Rebellion dialogue episode. There were 28 new characters which were crammed into that 11-minute video that were just crammed in there suddenly and have not been given a proper introduction to them. And most of those new factions weren't even teased in the series prior to that video. There was no build-up to them. They were just randomly and suddenly put in that video, and that's excluding both Irem and the past Nether rulers that are in that video, which I'm not gonna include those two because one, Irem was in You Can Do Better, so he technically appeared beforehand. And I'm not gonna include the past Nether rulers in that because Rain himself did tease that on the Discord. That was his decision to tease them. But even before that, certain prod team members were leaking their identities and telling everybody everything about them, which overall I think is a very poor decision, that you've just told everybody about what they did, who they were known for, blah blah blah, because that all that does is just take away creative opportunity to delve into those characters more, if Rain ever wanted to in the future. You claiming, "Oh, that's never gonna happen, we're never gonna explore this." Is it your series? No! You've just taken all that away, and now the fact that you've delivered so much lore on the Discord, whether it's tentative or not, it doesn't matter. You've formed it like you're lecturing people, like it's a fucking thesis, and you're expecting people to be engaging with that? It's not. You don't keep people engaged by telling them absolutely everything and explaining absolutely everything about any given piece of work. Also, the comedy here, it doesn't fit in. You're trying to make a funny scene, I get it, but it doesn't fit in. It feels very forced in. I'm not trying to be harsh here. This is just things that anybody will pick up on. Is the fact that how inconsistent it is, and the fact that compared to how things were when, say, Demons and You Can Do Better came out, because those were both good episodes. Since then, it's just dropped. It's gone downhill. The writing has gone severely downhill. It's just not up to par with what it used to be back when, a year ago? Anyway, going back to this episode, and the point I was originally criticizing here was, this whole thing, it just feels like it is essentially just a setup to force the Illagers to have more importance. And I said this numerous times on the Discord, but it is just a desperate attempt to be like, these are Illagers, we're gonna make them more important. Listen to us, they're better than you think, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, no, you're just cramming as much things as you can into a desperate effort in season 4, and just being like, alright, we've written this, like it. No! That's not how it works! And that's not how you write a story!
For your people, but I'm a changed netherkin now, I promise! Also, can I borrow some of your already stretched out forces to help fight my own battles?
Okay. You didn't have to be so rude about it.
Both you and the Frostborn need more manpower against the Empire. And this
But for the record, I do like how Keston changed his voice then.
our only shot right now.
Fine, you got your point across. But I swear, if you have any other hidden plans, I'll be...
Yeah, you'll be grateful you trusted me after we win this war. Now, shall we go?
Hey, don't think you're so sly. Wordsguard, join them.
Me? Yes, of course.
What? Is that Maker? Hold on. Nah, you're not fooling me with that one. I fucking knew it! I fucking knew you were in this, Maker! I fucking knew it! I knew you were in this. I knew you were, Maker! I knew it!
Will you be fine without my help?
We'll be fine right here. Bring a squad with you and keep our princess safe at all costs. I don't trust this pale man and his funny ideas.
You got it, boss.
I love the goofy pigs. I just love it. Okay, I would rather have a whole episode of just hearing all the pigs talk than it be about illagers. I'm just no cap. That's just the vibe I want.
Whatever. Now let's go. The Flamecasters await us in the Crimson Forest.
Okay, well, so we're jumping it out of context. Okay. Okay, first of all, 2 points here. One, I love Klaus's new design of like the end of like he's end features and then his like undead features. He looks very cool. It'll be interesting to see if he has any dialogue in this episode, but he looks really cool. Secondly, I'm sorry, but illagers just have an incredibly goofy design. It's the nose. I swear it's the nose. It just makes them look ridiculously goofy. If you took the nose away, and we were actually able to see their faces properly, then they would look okay. They would look like decently designed characters. The noses make them look utterly ridiculous. What the fuck is that? I mean, you've got a dope outfit, I won't lie there. But again, it's the noses. You see what I mean? They would look alright if they didn't have those stupid noses. See, I like the horns on that one. The noses do just ruin it. They just do. I'm fine right here, no one calling. I'm fine right here, someone missing. Okay, see, that one I feel like works because it's a shorter nose, right? It's not like a gigantic fucking elephant trunk. So it works, and you can see like a little wart there. So it works it looks like a Minecraft witch, but it's characterized enough that it looks like a character that can actually fit in. Whereas the illagers just don't. You just like Pinocchio-nize them and give them long elephant trunks. God, the next fucking plot twist you're gonna give me is that humans and elephants have procreated to create illagers. I swear, if that becomes a reality, it's something you need to seriously think about. Finding new writers, Jesus. There's a fat cat! I love the fat cat! So is she just like a friendly witch? I've seen her, I can't remember her name, but like I've seen you mention her on the Discord, but is she like a Delulu witch with a fat cat? I'm assuming she's a friendly witch, like a weaponsmith or something, but she also knows magic to create a portal. You can just tell that Abigail just doesn't trust Kane still. I like that you've made that a consistent thing, but equally, if you were already gonna do this, it should have been done in the last episode and made more apparent. That's what's coming across to me. It's not consistent episode by episode. There's a lot of inconsistencies, and that's ultimately what's making the writing bad. Overall. Also, for the record, I do muchly prefer Abigail's new weapon design than the old one, because the old one literally just looked like 2 sticks of butter stuck onto a stick. That's literally what her old weapon looked like. Oh my god, also one of the Illager lords has been zombified. You poor thing, but that's what you deserve for having a stupid nose. Maybe if your nose wasn't so long, you'd be able to see the enemies in front of you.
There's no one medical. You can save me. You can break me out. I'm fine right here.
Oh, and he's dead. No, I knew about this on the Discord as well. Cain the Undying. Again, I was see the thing is I was really hoping, and I don't know what's true. Obviously, anything that production team says over what Rain says, I'm gonna take is gonna be tentative. It always has been tentative, but the fact that Rain made a post on the Discord calling Cain the Undying makes me think like it would be so interesting if he's actually a true immortal. Like it doesn't matter what happens to him, he just can't die. And then it explores if we have like a season 5 where it shows the aftermath of the war. It explores like the drawbacks or the repercussions of gaining like pure like immortality. Because if you think about it, yes, I know that it's been said that Cain and Ciara are the same type of undead, but if you think about it, in comparison, Ciara only had the Totem of Undying used on her. Cain also, to become an undead, ingested ender poison. And it would be so interesting to me if combining the ender frog poison with the Totem of Undying had like a repercussion of making him like a true immortal. But it's like it's like a curse of immortality. It's not like a blessing of such. So it creates like this internal battle in him. I don't know, that's just a theory I have, and I think it would be really cool to explore. But I also think it would be interesting to make Cain and Ciara a bit different to each other based on their circumstances. That still fits with what's already been established. So it would, I don't know, I think a curse of immortality type thing for him would be really interesting, and it would give him something unique compared to the other Crusaders. Does he just, hang on, I'm sorry, does he just shake it off? Like, she's shocked, like, oh my god, you're gonna die! He just shakes his arm off! See, please make this like a curse of immortality type thing. It fits his character so well!
I'm fine right here in the fire. I'm fine right here in the coffin. I'm fine right here getting higher.
It's close!
I'm right here, never stopping. I'm fine right here going
Oh.
I'm fine right here in the coffin. I'm fine right here getting higher. I'm fine right here, never stopping.
Did you just snap his neck? Holy shit, you just snapped his neck with his bare hands. Okay, I take back what I said at the beginning of this episode. This is a good episode now. I'm happy to see Illa just die.
I'm fine right here going over. I'm fine right here in the
Also, question.
fine right here going over.
Does Burnt Piggy have a name? I need to know. Does Burnt Piggy have a name?
I'm fine right here in the thunder.
Klaus?
You, an undead lord. How?
That's all thanks to you, Cain. You gave me this glorious power, so I'll turn you into one of my thralls as gratitude.
Okay, this also upsets me that this wasn't his voice in Already Dead. He has a better voice. Okay, no offense to the original voice actor. No offense at all. Your voice was beautiful. This voice suits him so much more because the accent it works well with his overall pride. I don't know, I feel like it works better.
So I'll turn you into one of my thralls as gratitude.
Also, he is sentient, you fucking guys on the Discord. We all knew he was gonna be sentient and not like a walking corpse. sorry, what? Hang on. What's his face? It's a cool axe, by the way. But also, hold on. Is that a gun? Does what's good like have like a gun, or is it like a flamethrower type thing? It's like a gun. He has like a shotgun. Also, finally, we have a pig that knows pyromancy. We have a pig that knows magic, guys. I'm so happy about this. What's the pig's name? What's Burnt Piggy's name? I'm just gonna, for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna call him Crispy. Yeah, look at Abigail. He doesn't do shit! You shot an electricity blast at him and it didn't do shit! I would say, ow, what's that? What was that? He didn't do shit! That looks cool though. That's a cool shot. See, the weapon she has now is so much better than the one she had before.
Stay out of this, little demon girl. You have no business with us Illagers.
Well, would you look at that, prod team? You've learned that there's a difference between humans and demons. I'm so glad that you call her a demon girl. It pisses me off that certain people on the production team feel the need to over-explain why certain characters look the way they do. You don't need to over-explain that, because it just takes away the mystery and the engagement and all the potential you could be giving all these unique species. Just because a character looks similar to humans doesn't mean they have to biologically be related to humans. Obviously, we know Abigail is different because she is a hybrid. Like, her mother was part Netherkin, her dad's a fallen human, so obviously Abby's an exception, and you can have hybrid species. But it's also the fact that you state that Enderkin and Netherkin can be purebloods, and then you also completely contradict that statement by claiming that they're both a hybrid species. Both being, like, for example, a few of you apparently claim that, again, this is tentative information, guys, so don't take it all seriously. But apparently a few of the protein people claim that Endermen and humans had children together, and that created the Enderkin. Well, first of all, you can't be a hybrid species and a pureblood. That contradicts each other. That is physically impossible if you're going to over-explain them. If you're going to go and explain these types of things, which there's absolutely you don't even need a reason to explain how a species came to be. It has no relevance. All you're doing is damaging what you can do for them. You're stripping them of their originality, so really stupid move there. But also, you claiming that when we know that humans and Endermen can't commune the same language. There are very few exceptions, like Rain and Stella, but Stella's part Enderkin. She's already a hybrid, as in, like, her one of her parents was a human, one of her parents was Enderkin related. So that's how come she has it in her blood. But then with Rain, obviously he's a normal human, but he was chosen by Ceres, so that's why he has the ability to commune with them. But the majority of humans are not going to be able to understand an Enderman language, and the vice versa. So what you're technically implying implies something that's very not legal, and I'm not going to, say exactly what it is, but you can get the implication very quickly. So, anyway, the point being, it pisses me off greatly when you dictate how original a character is and how good a character or species design is purely based on their appearances. That is just such a poor way of dictating how and making decisions on how a story is written and how good characters can be, because you're just hindering yourselves. You're shooting yourselves in the foot by doing that. You can have characters like this which are hybrids, but you must realize that with all these implications you're throwing out there, with all this tentative information, one, you're greatly contradicting yourself. Two, it shows how insanely biased you are over the subjects that you actually aren't quite clearly interested in and specialize in. But and three, it just highlights the biasty in the writing. That's all we're able to see, is just how biased you guys are as lead writers. Well, quote-unquote lead writers. So, thank you for calling her a demon, though. I'm glad that was added, but it does greatly annoy me that you can't just let the impact of fantasy, which allows the impossible, to still contain that mystery when you guys are feeling the need to over-explain everything on the Discord or on the, I don't feel like you guys realize by explaining every nook and cranny or trying to find a logical explanation for every nook and cranny of any species or character, just how much damage you're actually doing, and just how much people are disengaging with this series due to your poor decision making when it comes to a public server that's for the fans, not for you, for the fans. I'm not trying to be rude here, and I'm not gonna keep feeling the need to keep apologizing for, calling this stuff out. It's stuff that I've addressed in conversations with these certain prod team members on the Discord. Hence why I'm not saying their names. You know who you are. I shouldn't need to say who you are. Rain knows who you are. So I don't need to, tell that to get it across to him, because he already knows. But it's just a very poor approach for writing, and it's ultimately why the majority of people who are getting angry at you and not trusting the words that you're all saying are getting angry at you guys, at you newer guys as writers. It's because you're so overly obviously biased and so over-explaining everything that you're just suffocating the series. It just gives off the appearance that it's all about your input and your characters and what you have to say and what you can include in the series, over actually looking at the series overall and applying fair pieces to everything and giving it a completely balanced and well-told story. You need to understand that is how it's coming across to a lot of people. It's not just me that feels this way. There are many other people in the fandom that also feel the exact same way I'm feeling. I'm just very vocal about it. And I don't want to feel like I should have to keep apologizing and delivering sorries just because of a few people getting a bit butthurt that I'm calling out information that is blatantly obvious and staring everybody in the face. Things need to change, or the only way is down. I don't say that to be rude. I don't say that to be cruel. I don't say that to make you guys look bad. I say that because all I want, and all the fandom wants, is to watch a series and enjoy what we're watching. That's all we want. But right now, we can't do that because of certain problems that you guys are creating. I hope you can understand that. Anyway, continuing on.
I will not allow another undead incursion!
Very well. I gave you a chance to walk away. Now I'll show you the folly in your choices!
You didn't have him laughing then? You had him laughing, but you didn't have him actually laughing, like verbally confusion. Unless that's unless that's symbolizing the fact that she's losing consciousness. Oh, power up! Damn. when? Since when can she fly? I don't know, but this is a cool upgrade. Yo, what, Abby? What she do? What did the woman do? Like an enchanted weapon? Oh, she knows magic. Okay, if you just shot him in the face with weapons. Just nuke him with electricity. I decapitate him. I don't trust it. That's the thing about these. That's about the thing about the undead situations. They never double tap the bodies. They never make sure they stay down. You learn your lesson from last time, guys. Please. You spared Klaus once. Just jam an axe into his brain or something. Make sure he can't get back up. That's interesting, though. Yeah! It's like her flexing her muscles, like, yeah, I can fly now! He looks sad. He does look sad, though. I mean, obviously, we know from Already Dead that he and Klaus were old friends. I really do hope at some point that gets explored more here, because I feel like it would convey the emotion he's feeling. Because he's obviously not happy that Abigail's just killed Klaus. I want to know exactly what happened. I want to know what happened with their friendship, how close they used to be, how close Klaus and Kane used to be, and what happened to make them fall out. Like, I do want to explore that. Same with Ciara with the with her backstory around the piglins. That I want to see explored as well, because it has both things have so many options and so many ways they can be explored. But this one is especially for the sake of this episode. I'll keep it on, on Kane and Klaus. I find it very interesting how you pan to him and Kane's clearly not happy about Klaus dying, holding his crown, being like, you almost like looking up to Abigail as if saying, you didn't have to do that, like, type thing. So, I don't know, however, his reaction here is interesting. I do hope you explore more of this, like, with, like, a prequel, that type thing. Or, maybe as the season goes on, maybe as the series goes on as well. But, like, definitely with a prequel, I would love to see, what kind of relationship they had, just to fully understand Kane's relationship to Klaus, because it does seem like an important one, throughout season 3 and 4. And she doesn't seem sympathetic at all. Yeah, she's just like, I killed him, bitch! Well... Well, it was definitely a different approach to what I was expecting. I suppose... So for a few things to go over with, we'll go over from the beginning. I don't know why you went with the whole paper cut thing. I guess if it's just meant to be a spoof, then that's just one thing, I suppose. You're just imagining. I guess it kind of depicts like Kane's imagination more than anything. But anyway, Nether Illagers, I don't feel like makes a lot of sense. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense unless they're only in like one little corner and they're only doing so for the sake of like nether resources or whatever. I guess that maybe that's why, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense otherwise. Yeah. I like their outfits. Like this dude, I don't know who this dude is, but I like his like multiple horns. I like his outfit. But yeah, it's a weird decision. I like her. I think, I can't remember what her name was. It began with H, but she seems like a crazy witch. Just like non-stop grinning. She gives me kind of Alistair vibes. I don't know why. Obviously less psychopathic. And then you also have Burnt Piggy, who I'm calling Crispy from now on. Crispin. So we got him as well. Gun. You've got Guns. Pig Guns. I'm so happy Crispy also has like he's able to use pyromancy. I mean, it could be the weapon, but like I do feel like having a pig character finally be able to use like magic, I feel like it's really cool. And I do like throughout the whole video you showed Abigail clearly not trusting Kane, and then you showed this dude being an undead. So that was a thing. You did also show another one of them dying. But you did also, I do also remember Barry, unfortunately, this was spoiled. This would be more impactful if it wasn't spoiled. I don't know, I guess it didn't have to be spoiled in this one. It might have been just said in his document, but I don't, remember or whatever. But I think Barry has said that, I've forgotten his name, purple blue dude, has totems of undying, so like maybe he'll like revive himself or whatever. I don't know, I feel like if you're gonna show a death on camera, just having characters constantly keep getting back up and reviving, it takes away from that impact. Like, this whole scene, let me play that whole scene again. So he's fighting with the Vexes. Yeah, see? See, he fights Klaus, showing them having their own rivalry. I feel like if you then bring this dude back into the picture, and say like, oh, it's from a totem or whatever, then I don't know, I feel like it would kind of defeat the point of having that on-screen type death that shows how powerful Klaus is. I don't know, I feel like it takes away from that. I'm just being like, well, we've just lost 2 of the Illager Lords. Now what do we do? Oh wait, 1 can revive itself, never mind. Like, you see what I mean? I mean, it can work with some characters who don't know each other, who are like personally who are fighting each other, and they don't know each other's capabilities, and it then comes up as a surprise to the plot. Like, for example, with Azalia's resurrections, it worked really well because the characters like Rain, Stella, Nostra, they didn't know she had that regeneration ability. But if you think about it, with Klaus and this Illager dude, they clearly know each other. So which means Klaus will know that this dude will have like totems of undying, and I feel like because of that he would cut his head off. Like, to ensure he can't get back up. A resurrection would make more sense wouldn't really make sense for this dude, because there's no way that Klaus doesn't know about the Totem of Undying, and he's not going to take that kind of risk either if he's going up against a magic user, is he? You know? I mean, obviously Klaus does also know magic, but he doesn't show any magic in this episode. So I feel like knowing that this dude will have a lot of totems of undying on him, he would probably just cut his head off and like destroy the body or whatever. Because of the personal relationship, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me to have him revive. If they didn't know each other, then fair game with resurrection, but Klaus might be prideful, but he ain't a fucking idiot. So I feel like this one and obviously this dude should stay dead. See what I mean? She would look like a great character, I feel like, if you took the nose away. I love Klaus's new voice. Love his new voice actor.
You, an undead lord. How?
You spared him and you surrounded him with zombies. What the fuck do you mean, how? Guys, writers, you act like Kane did not see this. If he's supposed to be such a smart character, he has a brain, let him use it!
So I'll turn you into one of my thralls as gratitude.
Again, I'm upset we did not have this voice for him in Already Dead.
I gave you a chance to walk away. Now I'll show you the folly in your choices!
I love the fact that it doesn't do anything to him until... I would love to know what happened, how it triggered the power-up. Because obviously we know that Klaus... The thing about Klaus is he's only shown here to be levitating and punching people, right? So, but we know from Already Dead that he's a magic user. So, does he just choose not to use magic here when Abigail powers up? Because I feel like if he did... he'd still be on par with her, at the very least. Obviously, he doesn't have the End Crystal anymore, but he is. We do know from Already Dead that he's a magic user. He has the End Arm Blades. He can summon wings. Obviously, he doesn't need to summon wings here because he can levitate. So was this like a case of when he became like bitten and like in the undead state, he traded his magic for the durability. He traded it for, and he also traded it for the ability to summon wings for like the levitation. Was that what it was? Was it like a trade-off due to his circumstances? I don't know. Again, I feel like that should be a verbal laugh. That was a cool shot mirroring. It was mirrored. That to me is a really cool shot that's mirrors demons. You know, when it zooms into when Herobrine's about to get his, Steve is about to get his head cut off, and then it zooms in on his like head, on like the bag over his head, and shows the glowing eyes. That's very cool how you've mirrored it to demons with like father like daughter. That's very clever. I would love to know if it was just like a power upgrade or like maybe like a sudden burst of energy. She like unlocked a hidden ability, or like, unlocked her true potential in like a moment of desperation, I suppose. It's cool. I love the fact that she has more to her electromancy now. It's great. That was also kind of cool. How she can like summon. She can summon like electricity weapons, but like manifest them into like physical weapons. That is also really cool. Is it like a mushroom drink? Mushroom drink? I love that. I love the fact that she got so pissed off. She was just like, annihilate! Again, I feel like you should have double tapped the body. If he comes back a third time, I swear to God, you guys need to learn to double check they're dead. Yeah, I still think it's a very interesting reaction that you pan to Kane. He looks down at the crown and then looks up at Abigail sad. He's not happy about the fact that she's killed him. Klaus, I mean. Yeah, look. It's very I don't know, it's a very interesting reaction. Because he's clearly not happy that Klaus is dead. Obviously, you can argue that they used to be friends or whatever, but equally, we know that Kane has done research on all the realms and whatnot. We know that he's got the wild selection of network. We know that he knew Klaus was alive when they left him. They left him alive. And they left him surrounded by zombies. So him reacting surprised to the, like, undead lord state doesn't make sense. Because he would have known, based on circumstances that they left him in. I think this part here is probably my favorite part of the whole episodes. I like the fact that, although he knows he has to fight Klaus, he didn't want Klaus to die. I really want their friendship to be explored. The relationship they used to have with each other needs to be explored, because I feel like this one small shot here, adds so much depth to the way Kane felt about Klaus, or felt toward Klaus. There was clearly almost a sense of regret, or like I said before, he almost like looked down the crown and then looks up at Abigail, being like, "You didn't have to do that," like almost like that type of thing. So I find the reaction very interesting. Yeah, I do hope it gets explored in the future, because that one reaction by itself was very powerful. And then obviously Abigail looks down at him, being like, "Well, what did you expect? He attacked me. I tried to help you, you know?" Be interesting to see how their dynamic unfolds, from here onwards. Anyway, I'm gonna end this episode here, because I've been talking a lot, and I don't want this video to be too much more longer than it already is. But thank you so much for watching my reaction. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like and a comment down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!